I'm talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we're talking about practice.
Best believe that I'm top 3. The only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Put me anywhere other than one that is not me. It's beef, we shred a nigga block, that's chopped cheese. No peace, the butterfly sting him, that's Ali. You reach, I teach him with the handle, that's Kyrie. Machines, you hook like a Roman, that's IV. You a sheep, I'ma go, it's a difference, so watch me. You weak, all hooks, no punches, so block these. They mock me, I just show them how it goes. Try to stomach this thug life. They ring got the nose, bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe. Connected from Cali to New York, niggas, so let it go. Made for this, nigga, I eat bars and drink flows. Thinking you woke into your third eye, peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy, it's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early, this bitch a cheat code. It ain't a game, these niggas lame, they bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same, you want the easy pass, tell him change his lane. Shit, I've been through the fire, you can't stand the rain, take an aim. Tell him runner, he can try his best. Drive a car named after me, that's why I'm in the vet. Laugh at these niggas once again and I ain't break a sweat. Number 1 at everything I do, that's why I'm one west. The Lord is not the God of the dead, so when I die, coming back for my spot, so forever I'm top 3. Just tell him to watch this, janitor with the mop stick. You gon' need a defensive lineman to block this. On point when I bomb shit, 10 for 10 I do not miss. I'm barking with a full bulldog, it is not mixed. They can see that my mind's sick, I don't write, I find shit. I don't like it, then I'll switch. If I touch it, it's diamond. Tell a bitch that I'm God sent. It ain't because my kicks is built like 5'6", 5'7" is my bitch. Dangerous, high risk. I lose it, get another one. You think I'm talking about a girl? I'm talking about another gun. We here now? Hey, look, it is what it is now. We don't fuck with the house niggas. We burn the crib now. I'm ahead now, and I hope they can hear now. I don't care if you think it's it, nigga. I don't fear clowns. Silences make it sound like raindrop. That's a quiet storm. Get the job done in the view and get fired on. If you niggas standing for nothing, what you dying for? If you put real with real, that's how I was born. Walk in this bitch ready for war. I'm in riot form. I want these niggas to see me flex. That's why I am armed. I shouldn't live in the crib, nigga. I should buy a farm to go through this shit so effortless. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3.
I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Nigga think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying. This shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening. Is in fact a if revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jack the Ripper. War, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he said something, I ain't hear him. This shit light work. It ain't about who got this gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Free shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand and feed you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow sign, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my bread, still still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
All right. Clap it up. Shalom, DC. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, and the Commanding General Yahanna. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible, and the truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group or Hebrew or Christian organization. 1 West is the home of the truth. The truth lies with us. 1 West, and that's it. I am Priest and Officer 500 Bakwasha, holding it down for Captain of 13,000 Mashak Mayam. He'll be coming along momentarily, but until then, if you have any questions, please write it down in the chat. Write it down in the chat so we can get the questions all lined up once Cap gets down here. If anybody have any questions in the room, we can also handle that as well. So I want to start by saying the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
We was coming over here and I was talking about even in their fantasy world, they're still the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. Right. I was talking about a old game about how it was like an extinction level event, and how this dude, this corporation was making machines, and in their haste of making machines and making things more efficient, they made it to where they can, recharge by biofuel, biomass, and they can self-replicate. They can just, replicate themselves. But even as they're realizing that it was an extinction level event, and in this fantasy world, they were still saying, how whatever they was doing is the machines were peacekeeping machines, and it was made to help society. Or they were still making excuses for how the world was going to end. You know what I'm saying? That it was because of the oppressor that the world's going in this fantasy world. So if they can't even admit to wrongdoing in a fantasy world, they damn sure ain't going to admit, to wrongdoing here in the real world. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. You got something?
Well, why you saying something? I wasn't, but like when you say fantasy, you almost sound like you was describing Terminator.
It sounded like it, yeah.
And in there, the machine just decided, you know what? Like, y'all wicked. And we all know who runs the world to be in charge of all the things that the artificial intelligence was calculating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How the world's being destroyed, this, that, and the third. That's not Black Latinos, Native Americans doing that. We're not bringing the drugs in. We're not bringing the guns in. We're not the ones with the big corporations destroying the ozone layer and all that, trying to go out of space. That's not us.
You are 100% right. That is not us. We're not the ones that are doing, even though it's perpetrated throughout the world. That is us that is doing it, but it is 100% not us. We have zero. We don't have any gun factories. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know anybody who knows how to smith a gun. You know what I'm saying? Right. Who knows how to mill the metal to the right specifications to make a gun. You know what I'm saying? Right. We don't have any factories. We barely have any farms. The farms that we did have, the major corporation, the whore that sits on many waters, has destroyed our conglomerate. I'm not gonna say conglomerate, but has destroyed the black farmer. To whereas the black farmer, there really is no black farmer. You know what I'm saying? Whenever we see anything about farming, even our I.S.U.P.K brothers, the Northern Tribe brothers, who was out there doing the work, these are not our farms. You know what I'm saying? We're slave labor. We're the oil that makes this machine go. They destroyed it so much that they took all of our stuff. We can't even produce, you know what I'm saying, cocaine or weed or anything like that, even if we wanted to. So we're not the ones, we're not the big pharma, we're not the, you know, ones bringing drugs, and we're not the ones processing, you know, tobacco, you know what I'm saying? That's like one of the highest killers in the world. That is not us. We're not doing that. We don't own any of that stuff. So why is it we're portrayed as the biggest, you know, threat on the face of the earth, when really all we're doing is running the I'm not saying running the earth. All we're doing is actually making things move forward. When I say making things move forward, you can your family members won't get taken care of in healthcare. You won't have any food. The service industry, factories, even though they're robots taking over, you know, those factory type jobs, but even still, it is us doing that. Even in the world of IT, we're anything that makes this world go round, we're the ones that have the whip to our backs to do this. You had some?
Oh wow! I mean, you want me to jump in there? I jump.
No, but you had your hand up.
I probably was scratching, but I mean, like even like just to add to it, the same thing. You know, I'm just naming stuff like you did with the fantasy world, the Matrix. You know, Agent Smith, when he was talking about how, you know, people are a virus and all that, this, that, and the third.
They was straight talking about niggas. That was the oppressor talking about us. That's how they look at us. They look at us as nothing but viruses. They look at us as nothing but, you know, freeloaders. But like look at the definition of freeloader. You know what I'm saying? Someone who takes without giving back. You know what I'm saying? Since when is that black people? When is that ever black people?
No.
That's the definition of the oppressor. The oppressor goes to every single land, destroys, takes, drains, and gives nothing back. Right. You know what I'm saying? That is not us. He is just describing himself. But in that fantasy movie, he was talking about niggas. He wasn't talking about, you know, the whole human race in particular, and the robots. The robots he's seeing as themselves. But the oppressor just looks at us as something weak, disgusting, and you know, a terror on the face of this earth. When in actuality, we are the ones that are chosen. We are the ones that are that are the quote unquote white blood cells that's supposed to cleanse this earth. And when I say cleanse this earth, I'm talking about we are the members in the Most High's army. Once Christ comes back, he is going to be the spearhead in killing all these viruses, all these parasites that is leeching off of the life of the Israelites. And for me, for one, I will stand in line. I will do what I need to do here and now, so that I can be by Christ's side once he actually destroys these heathens, right, all these devils, all these oppressors. You got some?
Sir, I wanted to go off of what Officer SHALAM was talking about. I think what you was talking about was, you know, those supercomputers coming up with the algorithm, figuring out that the white man is the virus, and they need to get wiped out. Is that what you was talking about?
Well, I was specifically talking about the movie, because in the movie, you know, Agent Smith is a computer program talking about the human race. Now, the movie itself was made to talk about us, right? You know, because Neo being the one, you know, saying and all that. Copper the Shop was talking about that one day, and he was saying how if you look at the Matrix, the first part, just part one, he was like, if you really look at it, that's our story. You know what I'm saying? With Neo being the one, you know what I mean?
Like I said, it's definitely our story, because just look at just look at that whole series, that and the Terminator. Just, you know, they're trying to suppress, you know, the truth as any way, shape, or form that they can, but it just can't be suppressed. You know what I'm saying? Right. They talk about in the Matrix when they had others that was risen up and then they was destroyed and whatnot. How you know it was false truths and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of how you call it? Fake Israelite. Nah, but you say it, you call it a special term.
What? Oh, Hebrew individualites?
Individualites, yeah, them individualites, you know. Yeah, it's a whole lot of them out there that is taking. I honestly, I'm not gonna say we need them, but it is good to have them out there. Why is it good and it's bad to have them out there at the same time? It's good to have them out there is because you can see that whenever they go out, they get beat up by church women. You know what I'm saying? Right. They get made fun of by the people that who you know is false prophets. And when I'm saying false prophets, I'm talking about them preachers out there. You know that these are false prophets, and they're making fun of them. Right. So you have a standard that's being held up. You know what I'm saying? You have the UPK, who's the GOAT, who is the standard, and then you have the rest of the individualites. You know what I'm saying? Who is out there and who is just making it plain. Honestly, it's just making it plain. You just look at the works that they do. You just look at the works that they do, and then you look at the works that the men of the Lord do. You know what I'm saying? There really is no comparison. And because of that, hey, shalom, brother. You know, and with that, you can just see exactly who the Most High is with and who's not. There's a precept with that. Get me the precept when they say, you know, Christ we know, Paul we know, but who are you? Yeah. Give me that precept if you could, bro. I'm pulling it up. Oh, you pulling out receipt? Most High in Christ. Let me know when you got that. But
that's what came to mind. As soon as you said it, okay, here we go. The book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 10. And the disciples came.
Hold on. Let me get there with you right quick, if I could, Baruch. Matthew 13 and 10.
Hold on. Is that it? No, that's not it. Hold up. No, that's not it. That's not it.
All right.
Dang it.
Brother, if you could, you can sit on one of these metal chairs. That side right there is for the sisters. I appreciate that. That's not it. But yeah. Anyway, you got it.
What we're looking for?
We're looking for the precept where there was some fake individualites out there who was trying to do the work of the Lord, and they came up against some demons who said, you know, you speak of Christ, you know, and you speak of Paul. We know them, but we don't know who you are.
Oh, I know Christ. I know Paul.
Yeah. Give me that if you could, Baba Kashar. Because that speaks. What's that?
Like, I was looking for a different one. The one where they came to him is like these dudes over there talking about, you know,
that's another one, yeah.
And Christ was like, and they wanted to go press him out, and Christ was like, nah, you know, because they
you got that?
I'm looking for it. Said their works will be like of nothing, like.
Go, yeah. Find me that as well. That those two scriptures go hand in hand. Because Christ is telling them, essentially, he's saying, let them go ahead and do what they do. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go and press them out and check them or try and do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Their fruits are going to show exactly who their father is. You know what I'm saying? what they do is going to show who they worship. You know what I'm saying? Who they obey. And you look at the fruits of these individual camps, and you see that, you know, they let people up in their organizations and their people get killed. You know what I'm saying? They let certain ideologies in their organization that's not scripturally correct, and they go out and kill people. You know what I'm saying? When none of that stuff is up in here in the I.S.U.P.K. Why? Because we follow Christ and we follow Commandant Yahanna. You got it?
The scripture that I asked about, that I know Christ, I don't fall.
You got that one?
Concept.
What is it?
It's Acts chapter 19, verse 15.
Acts 19, 50. Hold on, let me get there with you. All right, go ahead.
Come. Acts chapter 19, verse 15. And the evil spirit answered and said,
hold on, go up 2, if you could.
Come. Acts chapter 19, verse 13. Then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Jesus, saying,
all right. So what? First of all, what's a vagabond?
Homeless man.
Yeah, someone who has no place. You know what I'm saying? Someone who wanders. That's what a vagabond. So he's saying is vagabond Jews, just like how the way you were saying individualites. All these fake individualite camps out here who has no home, who has no one above them to check them to say, hey, you ain't doing this right. You know what I'm saying? Who really doesn't want that. They don't want correction. All these individualites, they don't want correction. They don't want to be told, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that, so that we can, so that you can stay in line. They don't want to be told anything. So that's why they're out there on their own. So these vagabonds, these homeless Jews, and when I say homeless, I'm not talking about like literally out there in the world. I'm talking about they have no correction. They don't have anybody over them, nor do they want that. So these homeless Jews, these vagabond Jews, keep going.
Come. Saying, we adjure you by Jesus.
Now 13. Hold on, 13. Read from the top.
Come. Verse 13. Then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Jesus.
All right. So they're calling upon themselves, just like how the way we go out to camp every week, and we got some vagabond Jews who call themselves the Christian Church, who was up under the leadership of the oppressor. Haven't seen that oppressor out there in a minute, but there is an oppressor who is leading them to do all this stuff, and they going out, you know, to our people and say and telling them, hey, you know, you want to be prayed for, you want to do this and what that, amongst our people who are really not all there. You know what I'm saying? They take it upon themselves to putting themselves in positions just like this, right? So they call themselves, you know, casting out demons, right? Keep going.
Come. Saying, we adjure you by Jesus, whom Paul preached.
So now they're name dropping. You know what I'm saying? Their name, now there is power in the Most High's name and Christ's name, whose name is Yahushua in the Hebrew. That's how they were talking in this point in time, right? And the way these Christians, honestly, it just sickens me. Just looking at what they're doing, how they're up under such white supremacy. It just disgusts me. You know what I'm saying? And it's right there, like in our face, because they're on our corner. They're not really on the corner. They're just out amongst the crowd. You know what I'm saying? They're out amongst it, right in front of us, right in front of us, and it's just as disgusting as the whores that walk by. It's just as disgusting as the dope boys that walk by. It's just as disgusting as the LGBT community. Just as disgusting as the addicts. But the saving grace is I know that once upon a time, all of us was on that side in one way, shape, or form. If Commander General Yahanna and the generals and the captains and all the officers that was above us that wasn't on the streets telling us how the way we need to be, we would still be on that side. You know what I'm saying? Selling dope, you know what I'm saying? Using dope, you know what I'm saying? Womanizing, having the women on stripper poles, you know what I'm saying? We would still be on there if it had not been for Christ and Paul, according to the scripture, you know what I'm saying? Being out there on the streets, telling us, waking us up. Right? Keep going.
Come. Verse 14. And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Jew, and chief of the priests, which did so.
All right, so there's one in particular that was doing so. The loudmouth. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Come, verse 15. And the evil spirit answered and said, Jesus I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye?
So he's saying, you know, I know who you are name dropping. I know them. Them brothers got power. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is with them. The Most High is with them. I know who they are. Who are you? What is your works? What have you done? You know what I'm saying? When have you ever went to camp properly? When have you ever been up under rule? When have you been checked? When have you been groomed? Whose man's is this?
Who's your authority?
Exactly. Whose man's is this? Who are you? Right? Keep going.
Come. Verse 16. And the man in whom the evil spirit was leapt on them.
Wait, hold on. Verse 16?
Come.
Yeah, read that from the top one more time.
Come. Verse 16. And the man in whom the evil spirit was leapt on them.
What?
Leapt on them.
Man, I wish I could just pull up side by side the footage. The footage of what happened back then happening right here in today, right now. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Where you had a church mother with a high heel saying, "Who are you?" You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? You don't know what I'm talking, man. We get a good chance. We'll show you. But we had some individualites who was reenacting this scene right here. Was reenacting this scene right here and got the business by some church mothers.
Oh no.
In front of the church. Yes. This happened. If you can't see who is the Most High put his vibe on, put his spirit on, and who he did not, all you gotta do is look at their works. Look at what's going on. You know what I'm saying? The men up under Commander General Yahanna has went to the border and was told we couldn't do the work of the Lord. And we said, yes, we are. And then continued on and went and did the work of the Lord in cartel country. These dudes can't even go in front of a Christian church without getting they knots rocked. They can't do that. We went to cartel country to feed our Levites and the Northern Tribe brothers and sisters. They can't even talk without getting their head busted open with a high heel getting guns pulled on them by pimps in the pulpit and the mothers of the church. What's that?
Where this happened?
I'm not sure where this happened. It doesn't matter where it happened, but it happened again from some people who was calling us fake. And then they went and talked about it, like how they had some great restraint over the situation and they weren't beating up these church women. Look it up. Matter of fact, I'll send it to you. But what was happening here happened a few weeks ago. Happened a few weeks ago. Let's keep reading.
Come. Verse 16. And the man in whom the evil spirit was leapt on them and overcame them. Keep going. And prevailed against them.
and what is that? What is he saying?
They won.
Yeah, exactly. They won. They went trying to check them. These individuals went and tried to check these check our people, and they was like, well, we know them. Who the hell are you? And then commenced to whooping their tails. They leapt on them and overtook them. And that's exactly what happened. It was video by them showing the video of how they're getting their hind parts whooped.
I would say so. Some fake Israelites got conquered by some church leaders.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I think it might have been one dude in there, and he was the dude that pulled the gun. But from what I understand, and it might have been two, but it was mostly women that went and bust them over the head.
Like all you seen was purple flying everywhere.
Yeah. Now, how you gonna live that down? How many L's you going? If you up in there, how many L's are you gonna take before you realize, man, this ain't the place?
Right.
How many L's are gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? They went from shooting a transformer in the face. They went to what was it? Blue waffles. They went to let Hamites in, having your sister killed. To this.
It's not good. Which purple rain punks was these?
I don't know. Yeah, the first one. Sure, sir. Sorry, you want it right now, Scott?
Yeah, please.
And with that, I pass the class over to Captain Mashak Mayan.
Yeah, let me get one of them big cups there, Bakwas, that deal with this water. What questions? What you was going into?
I was going into.
Hey, guy, boy, hit that light right next to you.
I was going into how the fake Israelites would try and go and talk, or
the big glass mug.
What?
The big glass mug. Yeah, go ahead.
How they would try and go and
I'm listening.
The people who they're trying to check will know exactly who they are.
Okay.
And how they have no power.
Okay.
And how the other ones lived out the scripture that we was just reading right now.
Okay. Let me get a paper towel too, please.
Okay.
What scripture was it?
Acts chapter 19, verses 13 through 16.
Okay, SHALAM. All right, so where we at with it? Was you finished breaking it down, or anybody had a question? Just break it. Just give me one sheet or two. It doesn't matter. That'll work.
Let's finish breaking it down, sir.
So what? All right. Well, so you was just basically breaking down. Say it again.
I was breaking down how these individualites think that they can just do the same thing that we're doing in their own way, their own capacity, and how the demons that's on our people know who the real authority is and don't know who they are, and they handle them accordingly, just like it happened a few weeks ago.
Definitely. So basically, authority, recognizing authority. You see, the thing about recognizing authority, it ain't just for outside. You understand? It ain't just for, Christians outside and Muslims outside, right? That shit starts here, in here. You understand? Right? Because them same ones you're referring to, them fake Israelites, started here and didn't want to recognize the authority in here. That's how it starts. When you refuse to recognize the authority over you, you now decide to go and build your own authority. You understand? You go and you build your own thing because you can't be told what to do. You can't be corrected. You can't be criticized. You can't be told, left foot first, then right foot, or right foot first, then left foot. To you, that's a problem. That's a problem. Leave you to hell alone. Let you do what the hell you want. And before long, you're in purple and gold somewhere with some tranny, scandal in some back room somewhere before long. You get the point? It all comes from your refusal to yield to somebody better than you, right? And that's the pride of the Christian church. Christians don't believe nobody's better than them. That's why there's no rank in the Christian church. They all believe that they're equal. You get the point? And because they're equal, nobody could correct anybody. So all them children had to get molested in there, and nobody could correct anybody. But best believe that starts right here. It starts with the little what?
Corrections.
It doesn't start with the corrections. Go ahead.
It starts with the changes.
No.
I would say it starts with the rebellious children. They don't want to do what they told. They don't want to
you on it. You on it. Go ahead.
I was going to say it starts with little instruction.
With what?
Little instruction.
What do you mean?
Meaning like small orders.
Meaning that the person gets small orders?
Yes.
So the small orders are the problem?
No, I'm saying it starts there.
Okay, I'll explain that part. What do you mean it starts there?
And if you can't, just like you were saying, like you don't even want to take the simplest thing, somebody telling you turn left instead of going right.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even want to listen to that. So it starts with small instruction like that.
I understand. There's a preset for that. What do I want? What he said is exactly in the Bible. So really, Dawuda, what you want to say is it starts with rejecting small things, not with small things. You know, get the point? Because small things is how everything is built. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, would a precept be good for that? Narrow is the gate?
No, definitely not. Anybody have an idea where it is? Go ahead, Alex. I'm listening.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 17. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief.
Okay, well, that's the overall. That's the overall precept for the overall spirit of what he's talking about. But I'm saying where the hell the thing starts is what he said. Go ahead.
Would it be 2 Corinthians 2:11?
Let me hear it. I don't think it's that, but let me hear it.
So, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Anyone else? Go ahead.
Got some folk, brothers and sisters on the line saying if it may be Luke 10:16 and 10 or Matthew 5:19.
Mm-hmm.
Luke chapter 16, verse 10. He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. And he that is unjust in least is unjust also in much.
And that's what it is. Like because of the Christians make you think that. You ever hear people say, I can't come in the truth yet because I'm battling this thing. I'm still getting high or something, something they're into. Like people in the world think that success comes only when you make it big. And that's a lie. Success comes by you getting up in the morning and doing that one thing that leads to that other thing that leads to you perfecting whatever it is you're into. That's how success comes. Kobe Bryant was a success at 14 when he was going in the gym 3 o'clock in the morning, not when he won a championship. Like, that's what people think. People think the result is the success. The process is the success. And you had to be faithful in small things. You understand? Which is why in here that 90 days and then being a trooper is so integral. You might think it's nothing, but what you learn there will determine who you are. That's just it. Read it one more time.
Luke chapter 16, verse 10. He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much.
Right. Oh, and notice he said that which is least. Meaning what?
Meaning if you're going to do the smallest things, the absolute smallest things that people wouldn't even think of, then you're going to do the great things. You're going to be on point with the great things.
Exactly. If it is you're faithful in the thing that is least, meaning this thing doesn't get no fanfare. This thing doesn't get nothing. It's what is the least. You faithful in that, you are going to be faithful in much because your work ethic is not based on, the glory. You doing it because this needs to be done. You get the point? And now once you abandon some shit like that, you're going to make a purple group. You're going to make a group that wearing, living room curtains and talking about raping 12-year-old girls. You're going to make some group that wear red and white and worship some man as the Holy Spirit. You're going to make, Creflo Dollar. You're going to make that. Like, you can't be committed to anything. You get the point? If your job every day is just to, come in and hammer one nail, after a while, for the average person in the world, that shit gets old. Why am I doing this? Well, then, I can't expect you to show up for, 20,000 people that need to be fed. That nail didn't matter. So, but if I see you, that one little nail, that thing matters, then I see the care you put into that thing, which means nothing. Then, of course, if you are, 20, 30,000 people under you, which is what these mayors and them be having, or these council people in their constituencies, you know what I mean? Maybe even more, right? That's how it translates. You get the point? But without that, without you being, willing to yield yourself, so let yourself be ruled. You're gonna end up in that situation there what Officer Bakwash was breaking down. Go ahead.
Sorry, if I could, this is off topic, but do you have the link for the people online to sign in?
To sign in, you probably have to hit Korak for that, or you could hit Kazak. Kazak might have it.
Okay.
Right? Or you have Korak's number? Right? Or hit him, you could probably try him through the Facebook. Korak from California. Right? Give me another scripture. 1 Samuel 15 and 23. 1 Samuel 15 and 23.
Come. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king.
You understand? That's it. You understand? Read it one more time when you get a chance.
Come. Verse 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king.
Right? Stubbornness is as the sin of witchcraft. No, Slakia. Rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. And stubbornness is as the sin of idolatry. What does that mean? Go ahead.
Stubbornness, being stubborn, you just being to yourself. You don't want to do something. You don't want to budge. You want to do what you want to do. It's like you're not bending to someone else. It's idolatry. You only worship yourself. It's what you say and not what somebody else.
And what about rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft? But Quash, are you holding something else? 16. It's not. I had something else in my head. Anyway, go ahead.
Rebellion.
Yeah, speak up a little bit so they hear you, all right? But Quash, you have on this? You have this plugged in? So what?
Rebellion, when you're rebelling, you're that's like witchcraft. You're deceiving yourself or deceiving others.
Okay.
I was gonna say, as far as rebellion, being as witchcraft, it's like instead of going following the orders that be, you rather try to work your own magic.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, Slakia, sir. I'm going to focus on the word witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Because of witchcraft, this day it will be either drug dealing or drug using, which alters your mind state.
Mm-hmm.
So the rebellion part is an alteration of your mind state of not following the Most High. You're going on a different path.
That's it. It's okay. It's as the sin of witchcraft. It's witchcraft, something that done has you under a spell. Let's put it like that, right? Not hocus pocus, but that potion they mix it in the pot. Like that Smurfs, you ever see, remember Smurfs cartoon of Gargamel would mix a potion? He is a witch, and that's what a drug dealer is, and that's what drug dealers do. They mix a potion. You get the point? And that alters your mind, and that's what rebellion is. Rebellion is a very seducing spirit because it feels good to rebel. It feels good to go against whatever is there, which is why in Esau's movies, every single hero is what? Nope. White, but there's something else. In Esau's movies, every single hero is what?
To the hero, I would just say on topic because he's a rebel.
Yeah, he's the most rebellious one. Because the gentleman brought it out on the radio show Monday night. He's the most. He's always going against the grade. Always never listens. Everybody on the right side, he's on the left. He coming to work, any old how, but he's the hero because it's an empowering spirit. It's something that you feel, whoo, I fought against the system. It's that thing. It's what got Eve. That spirit of rebellion is as witchcraft. It's seductive, and you think you're righting it. You think you're right until the Lord show you you're wrong. You get the point? That's what it says. It's as the sin of witchcraft. And what's the other part? Who have it open? Read it again from the top. For guy boy.
Come. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 23.
Bukwash, pull up witchcraft for me when you're done.
For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
And stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry.
Right, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Right, stubbornness is going to turn into, as you say, idol worship. Get the point? It's all that type of, it's a spirit of seduction that makes you just want to rebel for rebelling's sake. You're just rebelling because, it feels good. And that's what America pushes. You get it? And that's what America is about. It's about the one that rebels. It's about that one who just ain't gonna take no shit. It's always about that. And that thing makes you feel good. Like, I ain't taking none of that. I don't have to listen to nothing. And before long, brother, you in purple and gold pajamas, like Geno Jennings say. Like, because you don't want to listen, because somebody tell you you're a little too fruity. you're a little too light in the boots. You go make a whole group that's light in the boots and turn Geno Jennings into a prophet of the Lord. Make Geno Jennings, make him look like he's good. Make him look like he's absolutely right. But it starts with rebellion. It starts with that thing. It's that thing that grows in you, and that's it. It starts in there, and before long, you're gonna reap what you sow. Right? Because you haven't?
Witchcraft, right?
You mean?
Witchcraft.
Is that what Webster's?
Witchcraft. The use of sorcery or magic.
All right.
Communication with the devil or with a familiar.
All right. So that's, that's your basic everyday one that everybody think witchcraft is, hocus pocus. Right? Go ahead.
An irresistible influence or fascination.
Say it again.
An irresistible influence or fascination.
Say it one more time.
An irresistible influence or fascination.
That's witchcraft. An irresistible influence or fascination. And that rebellion feels, you have to rebel. You can't conform. You have to just do what you think it is. Forget what anybody else thinks. Whatever you think it is, you stick into that and you puffed up. You're all the way puffed up. And your whole congregation is purple and gold and just weak. It starts there. That's where it starts. So now that demon where he was breaking down in Acts, where he say, where he's recognizing the authority of the prophets of the Lord, but not the vagabond Jews. That shit is outside, and that's, it's a good example to learn from. But you best believe what you see in outside is the full-grown tree. The seed starts here. You get the point? All them fake Israelites used to be right here and sat in chairs just like we all did and was sitting there questioning what's coming off the podium, questioning the dress code, questioning, decisions made, questioning this, that, the other. And, some of them was excellent in rebelling and they made their own groups. The rest of them is just, faggots and drug dealers, drug addicts and halfway dead. Some of them actually dead. But then the ones who excelled in their rebellion went and make fake Israelite groups. You understand? So what he was breaking down, Bukwash, it's good to see the outside, but understand where that shit starts. You get the point? Understand the origin of that shit. Go ahead.
We couldn't bring it. Nobody can remember the precept to it where the disciples saw a group of dudes on the side teaching about the Lord, and they was like, they wanted to go press him out, and Christ was like, nah, don't go do nothing to them because what they teaching is of no effect.
Okay, you have a question with it?
Yeah, what scripture was that? We couldn't find.
Look up. They are in help. Look up, let them alone. Look up, let them alone, or they are in help.
Oh, God.
All right. Because there was somebody who had a question, or you was just breaking it down?
No, I was just breaking it down, sir.
Okay. Somebody had a question or something? Any question?
Right now, no, sir.
No sweat. We just finish off this and move on. Go ahead.
I have a question to that in relation to that.
No sweat. Let me hear, because I think we almost done with this one.
Okay, I was gonna say Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
In it talks about who won't inherit the kingdom of heaven, and it says effeminate. But what is the female version of effeminate? What's it called?
Okay, meaning like if there's a effeminate female.
No.
Meaning
like,
what?
Okay, like a female that is, takes on the like the countenance.
Like a gay spirit, or she's a man.
No, a female. Okay, like some now we in modern terms we call it butch or
right.
a dom or something like that. But because I know it's saying these people want to inherit the kingdom of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So it lists effeminate.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a man that acts like a female,
right?
Or has the countenance of a female. What would be the name for a female that has the countenance of a man?
Okay, for the sake of the scripture, pull it for me. All right, I'm gonna break it down. But it sounds like you're asking if what it would just be the opposite. She might be masculine, like how you say butch. That's why I call them butch, or a bulldagger, or a dom, somebody who is dominant. You get the point? But for the sake of that scripture, you have to understand what it's saying. You have to understand more of what it's saying. Because she was looking for something. Okay, no, we was looking for something from before. Let them alone. Okay, hold on. You have it? Go ahead.
It's 1 Corinthians 6.
Let them alone?
No,
I need let them alone before we come through that. But you can tell them where it is, though. They are in help.
But that's not what. It's not let them alone.
No. He's telling you the one you wanted.
Oh no, I already had it.
Okay, you already had it. Let them. I think it's let them alone. Go ahead, put guy boy.
Talking for me.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew chapter 15, verse 14. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch.
I don't think this is the one. Go ahead.
The book of Mark, chapter 9, verse 38. Teacher, said John, we saw someone driving out demons in your name, and we told him to stop because he was not one of us. Verse 39.
So, okay, even right there, right? Okay, your question was specific on this, so you just wanted it broken down?
It was more so a precept of what we were just talking about. We were talking about, like, fake Israelite groups, and what I was going to say on this one was how Christ is saying, like, leave them alone, because just them doing what they're doing is going to show that we're the truth. Okay,
but that's true. But all that is after. Once again, what you see with whatever's happening with them is after the fact. The tree is done come through the soil and went through rain and sun and grow and bloom. I was bringing out the point on the other side of that, where that tree starts to grow from. Because it says they was casting out demon in whose name?
In your name.
Which means Christ.
Okay.
So why wasn't they casting out demons in the name of whoever they was following? Since they wasn't following Christ. You get the point?
Right.
They had to done hear about everything, but rejecting it. Rejecting whatever it is he's saying, and went to do their own thing. You get the point? That's the part you had to get to. Like, it's good to get that part on the outside, but understanding where that shit starts. That shit starts from somebody who sits. I don't agree with that. That there, why should I have to wear those clothes? What do I have to do this? 6-month rule, what? You can't tell me what I could do. And you go and make something that appeases to you, that you could grow in, because you can't grow in this soil. This soil is a little too strict. This soil requires you to grow upright. That soil, you could be bendy, gender fluid, and all kind of shit out there. You get the point? So that's kind of like after the fact. You get the point? But what he's saying there is, of course, don't go up and try to press them out, which is even a cut to them purple faggots, because Christ said, don't go and try to stop them fools. If they think that the church is, stopping them, why not just continue prophesying? Why are you going in front of them to stop them? Why? Why would you do it? Christ didn't do it. He said, let them alone. You get the point? If anything, you could use it for that. You understand? There was one more I was looking for. But anyway, we could come to what you want, right? Go ahead.
Mark 9 and 38.
It was one more thing right in there. Yield your members to. Anyway, go ahead.
It's not, you know, I also had another scripture with he's talking about with the women.
With the women.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get his own first, all right? Go ahead and read it down.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. Know ye
Oh,
not.
Salaki, just remember. Right, Judas was the same way. Judas questioned something small. Remember? Like why, they say, why you're wasting the oil. Get the point? That's what's recorded. But Christ always kept, he's watching Judas. That's how he knew to tell his disciples who would betray him. Remember that? And there's, you know, when brothers hear the story, they ask, well, how did Christ know? Did he have, you know, vision or something? No, he watching what this guy doing. He already know he's here, but he's not here. And Judas would have gone on to form his own Israelite group. You get the point? He would have gone on to do that thing. Because, of course, whatever's doing with the oil, you know, that's, you get the point? Like, that's what it is. John the Baptist is the same type of spirit of, you can't fully sit down in this uncomfortable seat. The seat for the world, from the world's perspective, is very uncomfortable. It's too narrow. It's too stiff. It's too soft. It's too hard. Salakia. The world seat is, you know, comfortable and you could relax. This seat requires you to be up and alert. It requires you to look out for certain things. It requires you to be responsible. The seat of the world is, I don't have to say nothing to nobody. I don't have to do anything. I don't have no accountability with anything. You get the point? So they go find a seat that's good enough for them. You get the point? And that's what they make whatever they have to make. So if you're breaking that part down, you could run it all the way down like that. You get the point? The man with the tomb, you broke on that, right? Okay. I thought you was breaking on that. But for sure, that one in Acts is definitely it. The demon is not recognizing them the same way the demon that was in them didn't recognize the men of the Lord. You get the point? It's the same thing. Like, you can't bring forth what you did not learn. If you learned discipline and being born again and loyalty, that's what you're going to bring forth. If you learned rebellion, all you're going to bring forth is rebellion. Them purple faggots, that IUIC, you know, they came from GMS. Right? That Nathaniel, he was with Tahar first. They went to House of David, and House of David fell. I think the school burnt down. And then they went and formed the GMS. And from GMS, you have that IUIC. You have, of course, the House of David. I think House of Israel, Army of Israel, all these, you know, half-cock militant groups. You know, when I say half-cock, they appear as if, but they're not. They're really not. You get the point? That they come out of that group. But your father was a rebellious person. What the son's going to be? You get the point? And from that same purple group, you have other little dumbass, you know, wearing, you know, violet shirts and gold fringes, blue shirts, silver fringes. It's just a different form of them same purple crew. And they break off and form their own thing because that's all you could do. That's all you ever were.
Like mainly Christian, but that whole spirit, I usually hear people say, "Not my God."
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You get it? Because of how they perceive the world. They perceive the world different. Salaki, let me get yours. Wait, once again.
1 Corinthians 6 and 9.
Go ahead, Al.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
Mm-hmm.
Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind. Verse 10. nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revelers.
But you want to just 9, right?
Come.
Okay. Read 9 one more time.
Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
Mm-hmm.
Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind.
Right. So of course the abusers of themselves with mankind, that could also be women. Right? They're abusing themselves in the same spirit you're talking about. You understand what I'm saying? Don't think the abusers of themselves is just the gays. It's just the homosexuals. It's also the lesbians, because they're abusing themselves with mankind. I'll paint a picture for y'all. Y'all get the point? And they're beating each other up the same way. Now, also inheriting the kingdom, just think, more so, being in rulership and stuff like that. Sisters is not so much in rulership in terms of being in the government. Remember, this here is speaking to the people who's going to be ruling. Just like Matthew 18:15. If thy brother trespass against thee, go to him and him alone. It's written in that way because it's talking to those who are in charge. You get the point? But it doesn't mean it's not the same for a sister. You understand? So based on what you're asking, it would be, okay, a man is supposed to be masculine, but now he is feminine. He can't be put in charge. He can't inherit the kingdom. You get the point? Okay. A sister who is masculine, she's not feminine, she can't get that type of man. You understand? Not so much put in charge. Her having the kingdom of heaven is her having that masculine brother. But if she's masculine too, that brother he's gonna pass. She ain't gonna get it. So don't think to separate it too much, because it seems like that's what, not separated, but you're trying to break it down for the perspective of a sister, right? Okay, this how you, if I'm assuming you're breaking it down to some sister to let her know or to show her what she should or should not be doing. Okay, I wouldn't use this one. Did she pull this one, or this was? No. Yeah, I wouldn't use this one. I would use. Come on.
I got Deuteronomy 22:5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
That's true, but that's specific. It's just one aspect. There's masculine women in high heels and tight skirts. Masculine ass bros, wear makeup and everything. 90% of them on that damn Instagram. Go ahead.
So and then you said, okay, that one you wanted to use for what? You said that he wouldn't.
Okay, I think he was breaking down to a sister how she should be to get into the kingdom.
Oh, okay.
Right, and that I wouldn't use that one. You get the point? Because she's in the world, she's looking for herself in there. It seems like it's just talking to men. You get the point? And you're going to end up in another thing before you could break down what you have to break down to her. Go ahead.
Would you use the Acts 1, leaving out your use? But that's homosexuality.
That could work too, but once again, that's specific. Okay, you're really trying to tell her she should be more feminine. Okay, all right. Go ahead.
Could you use the aged woman? Teaches the younger woman how to be keepers of the house and be sober.
You could use that too, but I wouldn't use that. Hold on. Go ahead.
So, sir, got Proverbs 21:19. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman.
Okay, that what you're gonna do is you're going to make her contentious and angry, right? Because if I say, okay, I'm trying to help you be better, and I read a scripture about, thou shalt not murder and kill, what would you say?
That's right.
Nah, you ain't get. If I'm talking to you, I'm just talking to you. Don't think you in here. I'm breaking something down to you. Like this, you need to hear this because this will make you better. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Shut up, sir. You have to shut that. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, sir. From what I'm hearing about a woman being more feminine or just along those notions, I actually have two scriptures I will use.
Mm-hmm.
One of them I didn't pull yet. I have one pulled, but I only pull one at a time. One of them was that a wise woman, I'm paraphrasing, a wise woman building her household.
Okay.
I will use one like that. And then number two, I will use Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 13 through 16. And it reads, if I may, at verse 13 in Ecclesiastes chapter 26, it says, the grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there's nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
That's good. That's real cold, but that's if she's married.
This is just in general, a woman, how she should be, period.
It says her household and her husband. It says that right there.
No, I was talking about his question was, I thought
he didn't say if she was married or not. He just said it was a woman. That's what I say in general. This could be a young girl. It could be one of them young girls who, her idol is Kobe. She want to do all kind of, playing that basketball. I have a phobia that basketball. I think that thing turn your head. Salaki. You know what I mean? Something else. Okay, for Pagaiba was one. Pagaiba, I wouldn't use that one because it's almost like you're calling her that thing. And she'll get defensive. And she'll think you don't understand her pain and all this type of shit. It's a little bit different. Come on. You had your hand up, young man? You sure? You good? Go ahead.
There's a brother online, Matthew Brandon, says, like, sir, can you use Proverbs 31, 10 through 31?
Eventually, that's where you need to go. But once again, that's a lot for a married woman. That's a lot for a married. That's more so for a married sister.
Let me try this one right here. In Proverbs 31, chapter 31, verse 30 through 31, in regards to this sister in general, it says, verse 30 says, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates.
That's still for a married woman. That whole thing is for a married woman all the way down. It talks about her husband as being known in the gate. That whole thing is more so for a married woman. Give me 1 Timothy 2 and 11. 11 and 12.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
That's where I would go with her, brother. With a woman, brother, the simpler you can make shit, it's the better. You don't want to do too much overlaying a precept, and you don't want to do too much of that. You have to make her live on this. You hang on to the end of that subjection, like she on the edge of a cliff. She had to hang on to that and pull up and climb up and lay down on that line. That line had to be her bed, right? Read it from the Dawudah. Let Dawudah grab it because for his question, all right?
1 Timothy 2:11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Right. This might seem like it's just one little line, and it's, you know, this is not basic at all. There's a lot to unpack in this, and she this is what she's going to struggle with as you teach her building her house, or the older woman, like what Bakwash was saying, or Pagaiba, what's the one you pull?
The one that I pulled was Proverbs 21:19.
What does it say?
It says, Proverbs chapter 21, verse 19. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with the contentious and angry.
Right. As you breaking her, you know, as you breaking down that to her, there's one thing you're going to struggle no matter what you're breaking down to a woman. There's one battle going on all the time. What is it?
Subjection.
No.
She wants to talk.
No. You want it. I just don't want a different word though. But what is the battle over? Yeah. So the whole battle is over power. You could be saying, bitch, get out the street, you're gonna get knocked down. She's gonna lay down on the white line. That's Eve. The whole battle is about power and authority. Read it again. God damn, you close the book. Let me if I waste some time, you know. God damn, you asked the question.
Okay. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. Read it over and over. Make her read it. Let her learn in silence with all subjection. And as she reading it, and she trying to answer, as soon as she go to answer, you say, hold up, go cover your head. Why do I have to cover my head? You go and you show her. Any woman praying or prophesying and does it with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. You could tell her head is the Lord. She's disrespecting God. You get the point? You should cover your head. You ain't gotta get nothing fancy. Pull out your bandana, cover her head. Put a book on top of her head. I don't care. Put your hand on top of her head. You understand? You're gonna start to disarm that whole power shit. And now you start breaking down. Let the woman learn in silence. What is she gonna say when she read that first part?
But I can't say nothing.
Exactly. Is that what it's saying? That's what it's saying? Okay, we'll break it down.
Learning in silence, that would be her not arguing back with her husband, when he's telling her what the Bible is saying.
You're right. I wouldn't say those words.
Be teaching.
You're right, but I wouldn't say that part. But you more on it. Like learning in silence mean you not challenging the authority. You're not fighting for power. You learning to learn the job. You don't go to your slavery and argue with your supervisor how to do the job. You just, well, show me what to do. And you do it. And then you go back to the supervisor. Am I doing it right? That's learning in silence. Not, just shut your mouth. You're a person. You're a human being. And you start to, talk to her a little nice, drop a little honey in the water, help her out. Right. You could ask your questions, but learning in silence as opposed to, not my God, you not the boss of me, turkey neck and all that. That's not how you're supposed to be. Read it again. Let the woman learn in all subjection. But what if I don't? In all subjection. But what if I don't agree with this scripture? In all subjection. It's either she gonna get with it or she gonna get lost. You get the point? But that's really the battle any brother is having with a sister. It's never a logical battle. It's never, I don't think we should go ahead. Yeah, man, go ahead, definitely. I don't think it's never like I don't know. It's not like she's saying go change the oil in the car because we ain't changed the oil for a year. It's always power. Any argument with her is always power.
That brings me to another question
Mhm.
that I had in reference to, trying to, I guess, merge lives with a woman in the world. And, they feel like eventually, like, y'all gonna clash because y'all have different beliefs or whatever the case may be. So how do you, in my head, I think like, okay, well, it's gonna clash. You gonna endure, you gonna get, like you said, get lost.
Okay, say that part again.
No, I'm saying, like you dealing with a woman in the world and you're merging your lives, like
merging your lives.
Yeah, like as far as like her kids, she celebrate birthdays and all that other type of shit. You don't, and that makes them feel, because the more you express it to them, that makes them feel like, oh, we're gonna clash because of our beliefs.
Okay, and this is a okay. So this is a different question. This is more so a brother and his rib, but his rib is in the world. Okay, so getting in front of that, just for a teachable moment, what would be the best thing to advise brothers to do? No, just get it in front of it.
Come on, to her or just to the brother?
To the brother.
Get her sisters in the school.
Don't get sisters in the world. That's the first and foremost. That's the best advice you could ever receive, ever. She wants to celebrate birthdays, brother. Show her where the card shop is. Don't show her to your bed. You get the point? Show her where. Today's Prime Day, right? Or Prime Week. Man, get her a gift card. Let her go buck wild Bezos, man. But don't show her the way to your bed. That's number one. Now, if you're in that situation, sometimes a brother and sister come into the truth together. Not at the same time, the brother may come first. And the other, or let me just do it in general. The one of them comes in first, the other one is not in as much. And the other one has more influence over the house because why? We went over it earlier. Rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. Witchcraft is seductive. It's strongly influential. So you battling rebellion, once again, power. You're not battling birthdays. The way you described it, merging the houses, you ain't merging, excuse my language, shit. We're not merging nothing. This is a takeover. This is, you know what happens in the White House when there's a new president? You familiar? No, sweat?
If I'm on page with you, when the new president come in, they got their own administration that come in. They replaced the last administration.
Yeah, everybody had to go. Everybody had to go. Everybody had to go. The administration, everybody had to go. All them government workers who have government contracts, they be sitting with their cheeks clenched and praying because they don't know how the contract gonna go. They might get to keep it, or they might just be whoever owned the contract might not be the Democrat or Republican, depending on which side. That merging thing is not really how you want to go. You want to go and lay down what needs to be laid down. Now, speaking in general, this could differ, depends on your living situation. If your living situation is separate, it's way better. Because now you could go in there and help the situation, and then when you're not there, the house goes to hell and they realize where help comes from. So now they start to do what? In all subjection to you. You get the point? They start to do it in all subjection. But if you're living there, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be different. Okay, something like that you're going to need more details on. I definitely not trying to get too much into it personally in the class, but you want to get more details on how old is your sister, are the kids yours, what's the relationship like with the kids, how old are the kids. It's a whole dynamic dealing with a situation like that. But definitely the way to go is not a merging type. We're not merging nothing. This is how it's going to be. because really she's not trying to merge. Is she trying to merge? Be truthful. She's telling you how it's going to be.
No.
Okay.
She's saying that, you know.
Is she compromising on birthdays at all?
I didn't get that far.
That's what I'm saying. She's not trying to merge. And this is okay. Earlier I was having this conversation. Brothers are way more compassionate than women. And brothers hardly ever get credit for it. And when brothers do display it, you damn near putting yourself out on a limb to be called a punk for it. You get the point? A woman, she's going to lay it out flat. This is how it is, and blah, 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 and I ain't going to change. And because you care, you're trying to merge the shit. You get the point? When that thing, it has to go a different route. Now, in general, it's more of a flipping the table over in spirit. But your strategy is going to really come from more details in the situation. Is the kids on your side? Sometimes the kids be on your side. They don't care about birthdays. When you hear, the house is better. That's all they know. When you hear, you know, mommy don't argue as much and she smile, they know that much. So if you say that tree had to go out, that Christmas tree had to go, they helping you carry that bitch out there. You understand? So it really depends on the dynamic of the house and really what's been going on, different things have been going on. So it's not something in general, but you never want to merge the shit because really, Eve is not compromising. She's not. She's not going to say, you know, okay, I hear you, you know, this is last year, next year we'll just do a cake. Or no, she's not hearing none of that shit. Go ahead.
It's like, I was going to say, well, that was just a poor choice of words. It's not what my intentions are.
I get you.
Yeah.
But that's where you had to go. You had to use the words that is your intentions. You had to go there. Better word for the merging. Okay, I'm doing a takeover on this house. I'm plotting on this house here. You got to treat the shit like war. If you don't treat it like war, you're going to be in a war and you don't know you're losing. You're going to think you in some kind of diplomatic handshaking bullshit, and she's just running roughed up. It's Eve because of the sin of witchcraft. It feels good to her. Right. She'll just call her friend and start to talk about how she win the battle on the birthdays. You know, that's it. Because that feels good to not obey. Not obey anybody. That's just how it's made up. So you really had to battle her on the power, on the authority. Right. Like if you say you want to obey the Lord, let's see what the Lord say. It ain't me telling you. Let's see what the Lord say. You're gonna obey. You're gonna learn in all subjection. Read verse 12.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence.
Yeah, break that down. You could save all that turkey necking for them people on your job. You don't talk to them like that. No, I can't talk to them like that because I'm gonna lose my job. But you ain't scared you're gonna lose me though. You should put some shit in perspective for her. You get the point? But that's your battle with her is really on authority. It's really over power and her not wanting to yield to you. You just have to get her to yield to you. And not in a situation where the brother and the sister is already married, he just has to, now start to develop strategies on getting her to yield to him. Before the marriage, oh man, you gotta act like you, I don't know. You the NBA. Who's the best team in the NBA right now? Who just won? Steph Curry team, the Warriors, right? You gotta walk in there like say again? The Warriors. You gotta walk in there like you the manager of Golden State Warriors, and you trying to recruit a little dumbass. And this is the contract you going to want her to sign. And you gotta make this contract sound like it's so good. And brother, if she don't want it, there's plenty of other players. And you move on. She not gonna have to come and meet your standard. You get the point? When the best position to be in, brother, is an unmarried man considering some sister. That's the best position to be in. It's so empowering, brother. It's so like you sitting down there like, what would So what can you do for me? You know, you're in a position to really choose, Ark. You're in a position to choose, and sisters should be in a position to be chosen. That whole internet phrase of being a pick me, that's righteous. That's a righteous thing for a sister to be. Pick me. Because when nobody picks you, the internet does, and you're going to be hoeing before long. You understand? It's a natural progression. You're going to start doing Instagram, and you're going to realize the less clothes you wear, the more likes you get. Eventually, somebody's going to tell you, why don't you do OnlyFans? And you're going to think it's like Instagram, and before long, you're going to be a hoe on the internet for $14.99. You get the point? Like that's a righteous, but you have to be an effeminate sister, a very feminine, not effeminate, a very feminine sister to even be like, pick me. You're gonna have to be like that. It's very feminine for a sister to pray to the Lord for a husband. It's very, very feminine. A brother just had to go ask her father. You get the point? Not saying you can't pray to the Lord for a rib, for a good rib, but it's the dynamic is really different for you. You get the point? The dynamic is absolutely different for who you are. For her, she has to be so feminine, so absolutely just, being ready to be taken. You get the point? And only a feminine woman could be taken. That's it. You're going to have to be like that. There was some song I was listening to the other day, boy. One of them old singy type cats, R&B type cats. And he was saying, he's praying to the Lord for the girl to wait for him. I forget the name of the goddamn song. He's saying how he'll give him all of her for half of some shit. But anyway, he's saying, I pray the Lord that you wait for me. And I'm like, nigga, that is witchcraft. Because without the music, you would know what he's saying. The music makes you're just going along with the melody. Brother, you standing looking out in the rain, talking and holding your hand like this and talking about, I hope she save her for me. Say, I give you all of you in exchange for me. Some shit like that. You might want to see that DM before you make that prayer, brother. You might want to ask the Lord to show you that inbox. You might want to ask the Lord, somehow let me see the inbox before you actually, say you're going to pray. I'll give you all of you in exchange for me. Woman, you're going to have to teach her how to yield to you. That's all. You just have to teach her how to yield to you. And those words put it in perspective. Now, those words most people don't like to hear because it makes them feel like they're property or animal or whatever. But you yield to that boss. You go out there and you yield to the traffic light. You yield to the weather. You wear clothes according to what outside is. But somehow when you come in here, when I say something, I don't get it. No. It's all it is. It's power. It's never about what's actually on the table. It's really about the power that she wants to have over you. It's rebellion, is as a sin of witchcraft. It's what happened with Eve. I think it's right here. Read verse 13.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
For Adam was first formed, then Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
Right. What is the deception they're talking about?
When Satan told Eve that she had power.
That's it. I doesn't even go that far. Her listening to another man. That's it. She's deceived. She's not even running it back her husband. She's just, you get the point? But that's it. Like, she was first deceived because another man told her she could have power if she listens to him. If she listens to him and does whatever he wants, she could have power. And she was deceived first, then Adam. Which means what? You're going to have to stop her from being deceived. You're going to have power over her. not her having power over herself. Even when she thinks she has power over herself, she's really just listening to Satan.
Right.
She's listening to the TV. She's listening to BT. She's listening to 95.5 if you're in DC. She's listening to Hot 97 if you're in New York. If she's not listening to you, she is listening to another man somewhere, wherever. Get the point? Like there's no, I think for myself, I'm an independent woman. That's foolish. She's listening to somebody. She's being led by somebody. You get the point? So that's it. You good to go? All right, go ahead. Any other questions? Go ahead.
So there's a question from online. Kagarama says, "Slack you, sir, if I may. I always wanted to ask this: when the dead rise first, will they have new bodies, or will their bodies be new, how Christ was with the cut in his rib?"
Okay, let's get the precept on it. You all know this weekend is the Fire Weekend. Mao Quad up in Chicago. Get them a hand. Midwest Fire Weekend. Y'all check it out. Chicago, Indianapolis, Minneapolis, Ohio. Who else is in there? Detroit, right? And 5 big zones, major zones going to be heading down. And everybody from everywhere else, New York, Philly, Baltimore, DC. I think Texas on the way up is ready already. West Coast, I mean the Midwest Fire Weekend going to be a huge weekend. Part of UPK Cookhouse is always every year we get it in. I believe the next one is headquarters. That's the end of August. Then September is Tennessee. November is, or October is Houston or Texas. I ain't too sure where yet. And then either November or December is West Coast, whether it's Cali or Vegas. I ain't too sure. But you all know how it go down. So it's going to be kicking off this weekend. Tomorrow night, scripture breakdown with 12 Sheet Jeremiah Hyman. Then Cross the Line with Tazariak and Katiza. Friday's camp on the Magnificent Mile. That place just looked like devil heaven, boy. Good night, Irene. If it's one thing I had to do this weekend is speak on the Magnificent Mile, boy. Devils for miles. Devils like, I don't know how to describe that. Like on the steps of Rome, boy. At Salakia. I don't know how it's going to be done, but I'm about to get it done. You know what I mean? Go ahead. The Midwest Fire Weekend this weekend. All right. After camp is the lecture with Captain Ash, Kazak Yard, and Kataza, I believe, before Columbus. It's Friday afternoon after camp. Saturday is the Bantu Festival. Right, there's a big expo festival they'll be having in Chicago. Huge festival. And Sunday is the cookout. I believe that's the whole event. You know what I mean? So y'all get with it, lock in. You know what I mean? Call down to Chicago if you need some directions. Whatever day you want to come in. Mount Quad done took over the whole goddamn city. You can't even find a hotel right now. You know what I mean? It's absolutely crazy. So y'all get it. You know what I mean? Get in there. All right? What we have? What that time? All right, no sweat up. Where we was holding? What was the question?
The question was the new bodies.
New bodies.
Rise first. Will we have new bodies, holy bodies,
Mm-hmm.
bodies like Christ had, a new body like Christ had when he had the cut in his rib.
Okay. All right. What's the precept he want? Anybody found it yet? No sweat. Make sure you swap the belts, all right? Let me see if I find it for you. Twinkling of an eye.
With Christ? Well, Christ coming back, sir?
Yeah, give me 1 Corinthians 15 and 52.
1 Corinthians, hold on. 1 Corinthians 15 and 2, sir?
52.
15 and 52. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised.
Start at yeah.
Sir. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot.
51.
51. Verse 51. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Verse 53. For this corruptible must be put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
Okay. Who could break it down?
Start there.
But watch, turn that light on right there for me. To what? You have to shut that. You have to shut that.
From verse 51, sir.
Yeah. Who could break it down?
So like I said, I'm not sure so much more the breakdown of verse 51, where it says, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. Could the sleep part be like talking about I don't really like to say it, but like the 1/3 in a sense, when they talk about we shall not all sleep. And what I mean by the 1/3 is for the ones that, joined the I.S.U.P.K and came back in here and, tried to, pretty much, came back to the truth type of thing, where it says that we shall not all sleep. Could it be referring to coming to the truth and repenting, stopping sinning and coming to the I.S.U.P.K, or could it be referring to just that 1/3 in a sense? That we shall
a little simpler. Sleep is old biblical language for die. So it's saying, I'm showing you a mystery. We all ain't gonna be dead. You get the point? Is it that what you was trying to say with the 1/3 thing?
Yeah, like we should not all die type of thing. Like,
okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, I wouldn't say it like that, because now you're going into the whole 1/3, 2/3 thing.
Right.
I would just say we all wouldn't die. Right? Go ahead.
And then we'll say, but we shall all be changed. So like I said, I'm not too familiar with the breakdown on this one, but we'll say that like this is that behold, I show you a mystery, and then they say that we shall all be changed. It's like this thing that's about to go down with Christ coming back, these 200 million angels and the strange salvation. When they say we shall all be changed, it's like this is inclusive to. I don't really mean to make it sound like mystical, but this thing that's about to go on, like ain't nobody gonna be the same after this.
We all be changed. It's not gonna be the same, right? Keep going.
So verse 52, I'll read it again if I could. So verse 52 says, in a moment, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
Can I read it one more time?
Concert. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and and the dead shall be raised incorruptible.
All right. So now, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, quickly, twinkling of an eye is like the glare you get in the eye. That's a little that quick, the twinkling of an eye, right? A trumpet shall sound, and what will happen?
And the dead shall be raised incorruptible.
Right, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible. What does that mean?
Knowing the truth already, to the point, you know it's the truth, so ain't nobody corrupt you.
No. Go ahead.
I asked a question if I could. Is the dead referring to the ones that are not in the truth? In this instance here, where it's talking about and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, like meaning so like this could be a reach or far-fetched, but it's like in this moment right here with Christ and these 200 million angels coming back and there's a whole lot of bloodshed and all of this thing going on. And it says in the dead, the reason I was asking is the dead referring to the ones that's necessarily not in the truth, I guess you could say, shall be raised incorruptible, like meaning shall be raised. So like, I'm getting a pause at the part that
no sweat. No sweat. Anybody else?
I think it's talking about brothers and sisters come to the truth. At one time, we did not know the truth, but now we know the truth. What's going to change us? Or the last trump, meaning when the skies crack. It's either, okay, so what the last trump is the last trump the Most High calling us to the truth, calling us into the truth, and us changing and becoming, alive again? Or is it the chariots?
Okay, if that's the case, then why would I change my life now? If I could just wait until the end and the trumpet song and I could just change in the twinkling of an eye.
Oh, nah, I was talking about that spirit of truth. Like this is I can't go. This is I was thinking about the 4 horsemen. That certain when the spirits coming through at different times, but the truth, the spirit.
Okay, but this here is really like this is the twinkling of an eye at the last trumpet song. Yeah, Yahanna.
Yeah, I was gonna say sinners should be transformed to saints.
If that's the case, then why are you, me, and everybody else here striving to for mastery? Why do it now? Why not just wait till then? Why not just go, do whatever now? Live it up. Bruh.
I looked at the word incorruptible. There's many different synonyms for it, but one of them was honest. And I think out of the many ones, that's one of the ones I tried to break it down as. So when it says, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall all be changed, it's kind of like what I went back to when I said, like, after this, ain't nobody gonna be the same. It's almost like in this strange salvation or during this moment, that twinkle eye being changed is everybody gonna realize, like, the scriptures, so like if I'm long,
no, you good.
The scriptures say, like, some of us gonna try to pick up arms and fight against Christ, right? Or fight against the angels and join our oppressor. But like right here, we're saying like the dead shall be raised incorruptible. Is like it's almost like a realization is like that this should happen, or like like this is right. Like this is like kind of like when Egypt fell. It was like it was right for Egypt to fall. Kind of like when Roman fell, and when
okay, you're going all the way around except here, where you started to twist me up. That's why I laugh. And I was like, hold on, you started to twist me up now. Okay, so in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, and the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
No, I was going to say somebody online that gave an answer.
Go ahead.
They said, Salagi, is it talking about the dead in spirit will not believe?
No, if that's the case, why would I even change my life now? Why don't I just go and live in pleasure until I'm dead in spirit, and then I'll be like, oh. I'm Israelite, y'all.
Okay, I know when I first came in, some brothers used to think it was actually talking about physical change. I used to think like, okay, the body that we have now is not to its full potential as far as health and strength and stuff like that.
Okay, that's the question he's asking. Okay. And this is the breakdown here. But when it said the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. All right, give me 1 Thessalonians 4 and 13. Come on.
So like we come in here, you know what I'm saying? At first, you know, you the old man, your old man died.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's saying that the dead shall be raised incorruptible. Like, you know, when we learn the scriptures, we get baptized, and, you know, old man die off, we shall be changed. We was dead at first.
Mm-hmm.
But we weren't actually dead people.
Is that the last trumpet?
It's some mysterious questions.
But I didn't. But that's no. I'm not asking. That's what the Bible's saying. The Bible said, "Hold up." The Bible said, "In the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound." So, what are we talking about? Okay, we it ain't saying nothing about horses here. You right? Just give me 1 Thessalonians 4 and 13. Let's run up on the top. Give me 1 Thessalonians 4 and 13 real quick.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 13. But I will not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep,
mm-hmm.
that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope.
Break that down. Read it one more time. Nice and loud. Read it one more time.
1 Thessalonians 4 and 13. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Christ is not going to have us ignorant. He's going to break down and teach us what's the future of Israel.
No. He's saying, I don't want you to be ignorant of this fact. I don't want you to go around and not know this. Concerning them which are asleep.
Okay.
What's that talking about? Concerning them which are asleep.
It's either the prophets that died, or the men that died in the name of the Lord, or
the men that's dead in the ground. Because he goes on, that ye not sorrow,
right,
even as others which have no hope. Who are the others that have no hope?
I would say brothers, Israel that's not in the truth, or Israel that was, that is in the truth, but they see the brothers die.
Israel that's in the world.
That's in the world.
Because people in the world think, what happens when you die?
You go to heaven.
You don't come back. That's the last time I see you. And, you know, you get the point? Walking around. I know you're looking down on me, all this type of bullshit. You get the point? Don't nobody do this. Right? Don't nobody do this. You want some down there, nigga? Don't nobody do that shit. As far as everybody concerned, somebody's up there now. That's how Christians, that's how people in the world think. That somebody's died, they're dead and gone, and they're never coming back. And that's why people live in the world the way they do today, because they don't think that grandfather or grandmother or mother or that father or that aunt or that uncle is coming back as one of these little kids who done lived before 200-300 years ago, 400 years ago, 500 years ago, whoever knows the cycle. But the Lord, he renews the earth with the same seed. We were all here before. So now knowing that, you would have comfort like, he's gone, rise again. Rise again, soldier, rise again, brother. But to some Christian in the world, they go into a grave, every Sunday, kissing a piece of stone, putting flowers down, because to them, that person is down there. You get the point? They don't have no hope. You understand? And Paul is writing to the brothers in Thessalonica saying, I would not have you ignorant concerning the dead. Why is it so important? Because the brothers in this school is brothers who came out of Thessalonica. And they believed in that at one time. So he's comforting them, letting them know, listen, man, concerning the dead, don't sorrow. I don't want you that you sorrow not. Meaning, you could cry and mourn the dead, but don't go into depression because you're thinking they're gone. They ain't gone, right? Keep reading. Verse 14.
Verse 14. For if we believe that the Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will God bring with him.
You understand now what we was reading before in Corinthians. Read it one more time again.
For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even them also which sleep in Yahushua will God bring with him.
Right? If it is we believe that Christ rose from the dead, right? Even Christians believe that, right? They celebrate so-called Easter. They believe Christ rose on Easter Sunday. Then how could you believe your grandmother is dead and gone? If you believe Christ rose from the dead, then your dead relatives also rose from the dead. They're also coming back with him. That's what it says right here. Come on, bro.
No, I was going to ask a question. So I'm just trying to make sure I piece it together with Corinthians. So when it says that the dead shall be raised incorruptible, what's the incorruptible part?
We get into that. All right. So keep going. In Thessalonians. Verse 15.
Verse 15. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep.
Right? I'm saying this to you. We that are alive and remain in the work of the Lord, we're not going to prevent them which is
asleep.
Which is what?
Dead.
Dead in the ground. There's brothers who done passed on in the work of the Lord. There's a few brothers like Baria, Makataza, what's I.S.U.P.K more brother's name? Aria something. I forget the name. I think Aria Rakar. There's a few sisters done passed. You get the point? We're not going to prevent them, meaning what? We're not going to get something and they not going to get it. Because in the world, that's how people think. People think this person is dead and gone, and whatever is coming, they missed it. No, they're going to be back in the earth. So we're not going to prevent them who's still alive in the work of the Lord. You get the point? That's what he's saying. Keep reading.
Verse 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel,
which is that last trump. Go ahead.
And with the trump of God, and the dead and Christ shall rise first.
All right. What does that mean? The dead in Christ shall rise first. When Christ returns, he'll descend from heaven with that last shout, with the voice from the archangel and the trumpet, and the dead in Christ will rise first.
Those who died in the name of Christ, about the truth, they will arise out of the ground first. Literally.
They would be the ones who would be in front. Those brothers and sisters who died in the work of the Lord, when Christ returned, they get on that chariot first. You get the point? They endured till the end. It's a given. They're going to get out of the grave and get on the chariot.
Shout out the incorruptible part.
Well, that's what we're going to get to. Let's go back to Corinthians. Come on.
I was going to say,
where we at in Corinthians first? Hold on. 52. All right, go ahead. Read 52 for him, bro.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 52.
Mm-hmm.
In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible,
Mm-hmm.
and we shall be changed.
Right. So that's what he's saying. In twinkling of an eye, in the last trump, last shout, the dead gonna be raised incorruptible. Go ahead.
Incorruptible, because in the kingdom there will be no sin like there is in the world.
I was right there. I was right there with you. It's a lot. I was right there with you. No. I just told you the dead is coming out the grave. How long Makatas have been dead? 2 years. How long Ari Araka been dead? Since 2014. If Christ comes tomorrow, who's coming out of the grave?
The righteous.
Those brothers.
But how are those brothers' bodies now? Dust. Is a skeleton coming out of the grave with a holy garment? You know, when I say holy, I mean with holes in it. No. No corruption, no decay. That's coming out of the grave. A full body that has never ever had to process pork or weed or, you know, whatever else, never slept with no whores, a perfect body in the work of the Lord. That's coming out the grave. Right? Read it again.
Verse 52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible.
That dead, the dead in Christ will rise first from Thessalonians. That dead is going to be there first. And you're going to be like, damn, nigga, you looking cold. And guess what he going to say to you? Damn, nigga, you looking cold. Read on.
And we shall be changed.
And we shall be changed too. You're not going to have the same body that done subject to this world. You get the point? You're going to have a different body, not a, don't think like, you know, now you're going to be looking like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Just think you're going to be looking like the best version of you if you was born in the kingdom. You get the point? Just think like that. Think, and that's not far-fetched, you know, to even believe. You get the point? You're going to have, you know, your body is going to be different. Much like how when Christ came back from the dead, he was not rotten. He didn't have a stench. He was a man. He was an actual person. And how was they able to recognize that was him?
Things he said, the way he acted.
By the things he said, the way he acted, they're looking at him, but it don't look like the same person, because that same person was a carpenter's son. You understand? That same person was, you know, walking all over the place and riding on boats and, you know, donkey slack. You had a question, sis? Please, go ahead. Definitely. Next time, raise your hand high, real high. I didn't see it, all right? Sorry about that. So then they started talking to him and they realized, hold on, that's him. And he had to show them the wounds. He had to say, well, listen, there they are. That was for proof for them. You're going to have the best body you can have. You know what I mean? All these bros wasting money on some goddamn BBL. Come and serve the Lord, man. Shit. No. Go out and, you know, sleep on your back for 4 months, all kind of shit. Go ahead.
It's throwing me because usually when I think of the word corruption, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking of something more of a spiritual or like a learning type.
That's fine.
But this is physical.
Well, this is why classes is important. You get the point? That's all. This is why classes is important, so you can know the difference with what they're talking about. All right, keep reading. 52.
Verse 52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
Keep going.
For this corruptible must put on incorruption.
For this corruptible must put on incorruption. Go ahead.
And this mortal must put on immortality.
You understand? What does that mean? Yeah, please.
Okay, for this corruptible, meaning the dead that's in the ground, you know, so that dust, but they gotta put on a healthy body or something that's not decayed.
Get somebody hold Matthew 27 and 52.
And the mortal could be the mortal, which is the brothers and sisters who survived into the end, endured into the end, now become immortal, meaning they're gonna live a little longer.
Yeah, okay. Immortal. Think context. Think mortal versus immortal. Immortal literally means living forever. What are we talking about?
Well, I was gonna say, well, the corruptible shall be raised to be incorruptible, which means you'll be pure. And but this time,
not pure. You're gonna come out of the grave not with a skeleton, but with flesh and bone. A straight up healthy, damn near perfect body, if not perfect. You get the point? Perfect in its operation, in its function, in its strength, in its power. You get the point? The mortal, immortal. What makes us mortal? Remember, he talking to Israelites. Everybody can die. What makes us mortal? Mortal means what? To die, or the ability to die.
That you can sin, that you can't sin.
So now we have mortal bodies. Remember, Psalms say, in sin, in iniquity was I conceived. You know, familiar with that? What does that mean?
That it was all around.
It was all around. He came out the womb, you know. That's all you could learn. That's all we could grasp growing up was birthdays and Christmas. That's all we knew. You get the point? Until the spirit became immortal. Now we're going to get the body to match that spirit. We're going to get a body that never got blackout, never did a shotgun. You don't know what shotgun is, right? Yeah, you're laughing. It took a little while. Went way back. You're going to get a body that never did a shotgun and blacked the hell out and don't know what the hell happened. You're going to have a body that's, you know, never processed pork. You get the point? Never processed shrimp. Never had to go to the doctor because, you know, you showed some hole in your bed. You get the point? You're going to have a body that's now immortal. Not meaning that you'll never die. It's just that you'll never die. Like, it's Israelite talk, meaning the things that would kill us in the past would be what? You in the truth now, and you may have afflictions. You may be diabetic. You may be battling cancer. You may have a poor liver. You may have got shot up. You get the point? Stabbed up. You may have had abortions and your womb don't work. But you're in the truth. Your spirit is now immortal. Now your spirit is not like people in the world. Your spirit is alive. It's living and continues living. You're going to get the body to match that spirit when Christ returns. That's what it's saying. You get the point? So that's it. I hope that answers the brother's question. Give me what I wanted. Matthew 7:27 and 52. No, 27 and 52. And then somebody hold John 20 and 17, and then we wrap it up.
The book of Matthew, chapter 27, verse 52. And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose.
Say it again.
And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose.
Go ahead. Any more?
Verse 53.
Hold on, I think that's about it. I think this is when they crucified him, right? Go ahead.
Oh God. Verse 53. And came out of the graves after his resurrection and went into the holy city and appeared unto many.
You understand? That's what happened. You get the point? After Christ came out of the grave, then many of the men who died, they got out. Many of the saints, which mean those are brothers who died in truth, they got out of the grave and went among the people. Right? Give me the other one I wanted. John?
The book of John, chapter 20, verse 17. Yahushua saith unto her, touch me not, for I am not yet ascended to my Father, but go to my brethren and say unto them, I ascend unto my Father and your Father, and to my God and your God.
All right. Why is he telling her, touch me not? Yeah, John 20 and 17.
Book of John, chapter 20, verse 17. Yahushua saith unto her, touch me not, for I am not yet ascended to my Father, but go to my brethren and say unto them, I ascend unto my Father and your Father, and to my God and your God.
Was he considered unclean?
Not him.
So he didn't want to be contaminated.
Yeah, she was unclean now. To him, why? Because he just come onto the grave, incorruptible, immortal. She's still corruptible. She's dying right now, and she's talking to him. Get the point? Her body is decaying already. You understand? He just come out with this brand new. Just got this car, man. You know, wipe your feet. Wipe your feet. Wipe your feet off. You know what I mean? Don't touch. Don't leave no fingerprints on my glass type. You get the point? Christ is saying, don't touch me. I ain't go see the Father yet. I don't want to go up in there and he's like, what's that smell? Did a human touch you? You get the point? He don't want none of that shit. I'm saying that to be being jokingly, but that's what happened. He said, don't touch me, yeah, but just go tell them that I'm going to the Father. She said, go tell my brethren I'm going to see the Father. You can't touch me. You know, sisters, they see you. It's like, God damn. Hold up. Easy.
Touch my head.
Hold up. Easy. It's, it's all good. It's all good. I'm back. I'm going to tell everybody I'm back. I'm back from the dead with a new body. You get the point? That's it.
So, like, I know you might, but in that question, so Christ arising or raising up in the dead with that new body, was that, does he get it? Are we going to see it? Like, is he getting another new body when we see him again? Or is that his new body right there?
Okay, it don't give the description of what his body looked like when they saw him. You understand? You could only infer that they saw that head and that's somebody else's head and shoulders above everybody else, because that's what the prophecy says. And then remember, before they said he was unassuming, nothing to look at. He wasn't pretty. He wasn't beautiful. He wasn't something that would stop. Some of you would notice. It said he was no sweat. Go ahead. It said he was low in stature, meaning he didn't have height. So you could only assume, you could have inferred that, but it doesn't give the description of what they saw there. You could only think, okay, they saw that image, right? Or that image up there, the dark skin with the red eyes and the woolly hair and the height. That's you could infer that, but at this point, it doesn't give the description. You understand? And then you could infer it more because you could find the precept afterwards. He went among them and sat with them and listened, and they didn't know that was him. And only when he started talking, there's like, hold up. That's him. Like, who the hell are you? Because he talking like somebody they know. You get the point? That's how they knew who he was. So you could infer it, but it doesn't give the description of what she saw or they saw. You get the point? So I wouldn't teach it like that's how he was, but you could infer it. You get the point? No sweat. So, God, that's your question, right? You're going to get a new body, but don't think, you're going to suddenly be 8 feet tall. You know what I mean? Who knows? The Lord might say, yeah, but this is more so you're going to have the most perfect body you're supposed to have. All right? With that, I pass the class over to go ahead quickly.
I'm sorry, I know you're about to end.
We're looking for
I did have a question. I roughly remember. I'm not sure.
No sweat. I mean, if we don't have it, you just tell him it. You gotta say it to him. You looking for the blank sheets with the salute. Okay, I don't think it's there. I'm gonna have to look for it and get it to you. I don't think it's there though. All right, I'm gonna sort it after. Go ahead.
Salaki, it was a quick question. It might have be for next class, but in the kingdom of Christ, in the kingdom of the Lord, right? We're not ever going to be back into captivity again. But will we ever be at war again with other nations in the kingdom?
While in the kingdom, once the
Christ
kingdom is set up.
Once the kingdom is set up, Christ ruling 144,000 is set up, and the governing body is set up. These other nations that receive their land that's not cut off, because only Esau will be cut off completely, right? So these other nations, you know, will there be waged war? Like there was, I guess.
I get what you're saying. Okay, it's hard to say. It doesn't prophesy that happening. I would like to think there might be. Shit. I would like to think, you know, just for the sake of being in rulership, I want somebody to buck. You know what I mean? I would like to have somebody. Yeah, I don't just want, you know, just to be ruling and there's no wars. There's nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I want to be able to, you know. Salakia, these young oppressors, they leave high school and join the military wanting to go to war and fight for their kingdom. I mean, shit. Right. So it doesn't say, but building the kingdom, there's going to be war. Building the kingdom, Jeremiah 16:16 said, behold, I send for fishers. Now is the time for fishing. He said, after, then I'll send for hunters. And we're going to hunt them out of the clefts of the rocks. You get the point? Because that's what America builds. All their elites, they're investing in these bunkers and these underground cities. They say they have some underground tunnel from under the White House straight into Virginia. You get the point? They have bunkers built into the sides of mountains because they're putting them there to withstand thermonuclear war. So when Christ returns, they're going to be in there with all the seeds and the seed collection because they want to replant and rebuild everything. And an angel is going to rip the door open. You know, they're going to have some big old steel door with a big wheel and it locked 10 feet thick. An angel going to knock on that door, brother. It's going to be a knock like they never heard. And they're going to clip up and then clack, 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 clack. And they're going to be like this with the red dot. And that angel going to rip that door open and they're going to realize, you know, it's going to be rough. And we're going to have to deal with them. We're going to have to deal with them. It says that too when he set us down in the wilderness. You know, I mean, we're going to have to deal with these nations. You get the point? But when the kingdom is built, I don't imagine somebody who would want to war with the Lord, but I pray they do. Yeah, I mean, I might ask the Lord permission if I could go lie to these governments. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, get beaten up, throw some blood on me, get beaten up, whatever, lose a couple teeth here. Pull this one out here, because Shapat here. Ride over to Moab. Halfway on the horse. Konnichiwa. Yeah, the kingdom of heaven is ready to fall. All we need is you to revolt. And lead them niggas up to the gates and then say psych and fall on them. You know what I mean? Just for the fun of it. You know what I mean? That's shit. That's what they're doing now anyway, hell. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
And then also too, there is a scripture saying the gate gonna be open because they're gonna be like daily bringing in gold and stuff like that.
Exactly. The gate's gonna be open night and day to receive the forces of the Gentiles. Right. That's in there, but that's receiving it. I think he talking about, he want a movie made about him. You know what I mean? The few, the strong Barack. You know what I mean? You know, black lightning on that horse. I feel you, Barack. I totally feel you. I think we could convince, Yahanna, let us go lie to these nations and make them think they could overthrow and crush them. They'll make movies about it. You know what I mean? With that, pass the class over the preset officer, Shapat.
Do y'all make money off of this?
Off of what?
The videos.
the video, no, the classes is free, but everybody needs to pay the tithes. So make sure you pay your tithes. You know what I mean? Pay your tithes to the true 10% out of coming to the manager of Yahanna. Pay them tithes, brother. Pay them tithes. Young man, if you're looking to make money, just, talk to your account leader.
So good.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. If a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. It means 10th in Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'aishu. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the Treasury Department of Teachers. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, memorial blowing of the trumpets, first day of the 7th month, Sunday the 25th September 2022. You can find this in the book of Leviticus 23, verse 24 through 25. And the Midwest
Fire weekend.
The Midwest Fire Weekend would be this weekend from the 21st to the 24th of this month. Remind Akim and Akwakian to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black hairband, and scarf. And with that, I say Admanium, which means to stand. Sister, you may sit down. Admanium, which means to stand. You want to stand with your hands right here at your side, feet with your heels touching, spread about 45 degrees. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Imam Shabbat, Imajim, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh
Yad Yamatah, Saul, which means to turn. Sister, you may stand, Imajim. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sister, men of Israel, Imam Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, and sister, what you would say?
So just hold your hand.
You want to hold your hands like this?
Your right over your left.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Hold it together. All right.
And you want to say Yahweh, Shema, Elatah, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And that's it. Yad Matah, which means put your hands to the side, hands down. Class dismissed.